If you want 5 free classic radio shows to add to your library or listen to them anytime you'd like, just go to 100radioshows.com. There's 5 shows waiting for you. Fibber, McGee, and Molly, Suspense, Jack Benny, Gunsmoke, and Richard Diamond, Private Detective. They're yours free. Just put your email in. We'll send you a email with 5 links. The links never expire. The shows sound amazing. They're yours as our gift. At that site, 100radioshows.com, there are hundreds and hundreds of additional classic radio shows for purchase. If you decide to buy any of those shows, use the promo code
radio.
That's right. Use the promo
secret
code
word is
radio. If you do that, you'll save 70% on your order. Now, that's done at checkout. Make sure you put the promo code in, save 70%. Get some free classic radio shows at 100radioshows.com, at 100radioshows.com.
We interrupt this program for an on-the-spot news report.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past 2 years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage is only $75 per month, level for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rates for 20 years. And if you're a smoker, we have great rates for you as well. At the Term Lifeline, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. So if you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call right now for a free quote.
Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exam required to qualify.
800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. 800-803-1961. That's 800-803-1961.
Listen up, fellow timeshare owners. If you're a timeshare owner and you want out at all costs, you're done, frustrated, tired of wasting money, you don't use the darn thing. Get out now. Hire the best Bulldog timeshare cancellation team in the business. Their in-house legal team, headed by a timeshare cancellation lawyer, can help you fight the biggest and baddest companies out there that sell timeshare. At some point, you were using your timeshare, but now you're not, and you're tired of wasting money. Before you go to the poorhouse, call right now and learn how you can stop the maintenance fees and put more money back in your pocket. Their services cost you a lot less than you think, and you'll save a lot of money over time. Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline now. It's a free consultation.
800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. 800-824-5131. That's 800-824-5131.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Good morning, St. Louis, and welcome into Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen right now is warming up with some sweaty hands on T-Box number 1 for a member guest, and that means you get myself, Matthew Rocchio, Grant Salsman, and live from Milwaukee is Jimmy the Cat Hayes. Jimmy, how you doing today?
Good morning. What is Cam's tournament that he's at?
He's doing his first ever member guest, and so I think he's too nervous to call into the show before he tees off, because I think they say they tee off at 8:30. Oh. And I was like, well, you want to call into the show before you tee off? And as we know right now, Cat, Cam's rattled, I think is just the only way to put it.
Okay, so I don't really understand that. I'm not a country club guy.
Fair
you
enough.
are.
Yeah, I can explain
Cam
to you.
is. What is member guest?
So member guests are a tournament where the members with twosomes versus twosomes, you as a member are allowed to invite your guest, and then you guys compete against the other twosomes of member and guest for a nice little pot of money. And some of them also have a lot of side money that gets put on them at some kind of gathering before the actual tournament begins, usually maybe on the Thursday night prior. So it's a big deal for all the members. It's a big deal for everybody involved, because there's usually a good amount of Skrilla on the table, so on and so forth. And Cam, as we talked about yesterday, his is just pure pride of being a professional athlete, not one to get laughed at.
All right, but it's not like some big tournament where there's like a lot of public eyes on you.
Well,
So he shouldn't be nervous, right?
But again, Kat, you got to realize the public for Cam is the people inside his subdivision because that's the only place where he goes outside. And so this is literally the public for Cam. This is essentially like you standing in front of a full Busch stadium. This is Cam's version of 40,000 people watching him every day and another 2 million watching him on television. This is the most exposed Cam gets.
Okay, I get it. Well, he does, hockey sometimes, and there's a lot of people listening on the radio when he does that.
He doesn't know how that works.
There wasn't.
That's true.
When he was on the ice, though, there wasn't that many people watching either. So no, I'm being sarcastic. He probably has had bigger stages. So is it match play these tournaments, or is it just pure scrambling stroke play?
I believe it's
wins?
match play.
Okay, so you go up against two sums, then you move on after 9 holes
and
or whatever.
His team is getting a bunch of pops because his handicap's so high.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, just like if we're going to talk about golf, my girlfriend was playing in districts for Norwood Hills, and she was giving up pops. So the entire first 10 holes, she was struggling because she kept getting birdies, but they kept getting pars.
Yeah.
And at that point, because she's giving pops on almost every one of these holes, that doesn't matter. Every single one of those holes was just breaking even. So Cam's going to be on the other side of things, where as long as he's getting bogeys, he's going to be beating their birdies and pars.
Rachel's corrected you. She says it's best ball for the twosome, not match play. So best ball.
That's terrifying.
It was.
So you play best ball is you play your own ball, I believe, and then whoever has the best score is the one that counts for the group.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Correct. I was just going off match play based on the they're playing each hole. They're giving up pops.
Yeah, it's not that you go up. Yeah,
specifically. Yeah, it's okay. Narrow it down even more from match play into something even more specific. That's on me. I'm sorry, but yeah. Cam's a little rattled, and we could be supportive, but where's the fun in that?
Jim, speaking of golf, I'm interested in your inside scoop here. I saw on, I believe it was Daniel Descalso's Instagram page, that the Cardinals coaches had their coach golf tournament yesterday. Did you get the inside scoop yet on who won that?
I haven't left the hotel room.
Get ready, Jim.
Thank you, Seb. Yeah, I was kind of under the weather and didn't sleep. And everyone got here at 7 a.m., so everyone was tired. There was absolutely no way I was going to be leaving the room. I slept. I did order some food, slept some more. I feel better today. So, I shut it down yesterday. So I'll get the scoop today, Grant. If that's what you want to know, I will actually text you with some information if you'd like.
Wonderful, because I've heard that John Jay and Daniel are pretty good golfers.
They golf a lot. There's a lot of times I'll get up and go get coffee, and they're coming in on the golf course already. Yeah, they like to golf. And by the way, those two guys couldn't be friendlier. Even after being in baseball for all this time, I know pretty new to coaching, but during games, John Jay will throw balls to fans. Most coaches in the middle of the game, they're working. John Jay will be like, "Hold on, I'll get you one. Take it easy." He's a very nice fella.
Your butt does look good in those shorts.
Thank you, Jim. If you guys want to jump into the show, you can join the show right now. You can text us on the text line 314-590-370. If you don't want to do that, you can jump into the YouTube chat right now, like plenty of people are, including Rachel, my girlfriend, telling me that I'm wrong about the golf stuff. Shocker there. I don't know what I'm talking about. 855-282-8255. If you want to join us on the call-in line as well, and just make sure you're streaming the show right now on YouTube. Just search Lou Info or Hot Take Central 2.0. We're getting some texts and some chats here. Kitty Bates says, "Hey, Iggy. Sorry, Rockio. Upload the damn podcast." We had a problem with hour 1 of yesterday's podcast. I just re-uploaded the audio. For some reason, it wouldn't process. I'll let everyone know if hour 1 of the podcast will be up tomorrow. Apparently, we're having some other issues with our podcast uploading on Apple Podcasts. If you're having similar issues like that, just let us know so we can get those ironed out. And also, while we're talking about the best ways to listen to the Lou Information Station and Hot Take Central, remember, everyone, please to download our new app that went live yesterday. I'm going to put up the photo on the screen for a little bit as well. The Blue Info app is here. You can download it on Apple and Android right now, and it just makes streaming the show that much easier. And when the podcasts do upload, if you don't want to worry about hassling with your Apple Podcasts or Spotify podcasts, you can always use the app to help streamline that process.
There it is.
There it is.
And you can watch on YouTube if you want to rewatch and see our faces too.
Yes,
that's always there.
You can't use that immediately with the app, but
on the YouTube app. Yeah.
As the person who got to me yesterday, who said, "Hey, I'm having an issue getting the podcast going. If for any reason the audio only podcast doesn't work, the YouTube podcast or the YouTube stream is always up in perpetuity, so you can always jump on and stream the exact same show you're getting on the audio, except you're getting the video elements where you get to see our
and you
pretty
can
faces.
chat with us on YouTube, right? That's the difference.
Oh,
You can,
yeah.
rip us, right?
Yes.
They sometimes they do that. They're being really nice today for some reason, mainly because I haven't read the chat yet.
Someone wants to know, Jim, if you've had any ghost sightings. Degenerate Wombat wants to know that.
Oh, because that hotel up there.
Yeah. Any ghosts?
No.
Oh.
And, I've always said I want to see a ghost. I believe that there are hauntings, and I never saw one, but I did confirm stories. If you want to know, I've told them before, but they're absolutely true. Matt Carpenter, who's a religious guy, who is no one would say would make up stuff, said one day he was getting up in the morning and he couldn't get up, like there was a weight holding him down, like someone was on top of him. There wasn't anything crazy going on. Just he thought it was a ghost. And there's nothing on him. Like he looked, there's nothing. He just felt like this weight. And Yachty wouldn't stay here anymore because he saw a ghost in his room. Apparently it was a female ghost throwing fireballs at him or something. And once they calmed him down, he went down into the lobby, and on the wall, one of the portraits was that ghost. Like that woman was there allegedly, and he freaked out, so he wouldn't stay here. And a bunch of players talking about lights coming on in the middle of the night, or I think one said all of a sudden they look up and there's a cat in their room, a stray cat, not me, and then it was gone. So a lot of players have had incidents.
So Jim, obviously, because you trust Matt Carpenter implicitly, you believe in ghosts. Then did you believe in ghosts before the Cardinals changed your faith, or no?
Yes, I believed in ghosts before. I don't know what it's about, but I also, from Nyack, New York, in the town over, I think it's Central Nyack, there's a famous haunted house, and kind of a famous story in Nyack that these kids were sort of having a makeout party when they were like in 8th grade, and the lights were on, the lights went up, and there's an old like Civil War. I'm sorry, no, an old soldier that all of a sudden appears. And one of my friends saw that the lights went on and there's this guy in this house inside kind of giving them a nod of disapproval. Then the lights went back out and he was outside like a revolutionary soldier dressed that way.
That's terrifying.
I've never seen it. I've never seen one. I want to, but I suspend my disbelief based on the fact that people I know, many of them have seen ghosts.
Maybe they don't want to haunt you because they know that you want it too badly.
Or maybe they know
already
I'd
believe.
litigate.
Assuming a ghost would be fun. There's generational money sitting there. One thing I wanted to dive into today, Kat, and I put it in the show title, and JNTX is already questioning it in the YouTube chat, because I put Cardinals plan for 26, and it wasn't necessarily the Cardinals plan for 26. It was more just the thought process going into 26 around the Cardinals, because one thing we didn't talk about yesterday or this week yet, what was the Mason Wynn news, and he's got the knee issue. He's going to get the surgery in this winter, but the Cardinals have been told that there's no issues with playing him the rest of this season. It's not going to affect his 2026 at all. It's barely going to affect his winter. But there have been some updates. There have been some things going on with the Cardinals over the last 3 or 4 days that will potentially impact 2026 in one way or another. I just wanted to get your thoughts on some of that news from the Cardinals, including
Mason Wynn stuff isn't news. I've talked about it on this show. He has a bad right knee.
Well,
like I've been saying this. It's like no one would listen. I said he had a torn meniscus in high school, and that it's a little tear, and that it's not going to hurt him. He wanted to play through. I'm not concerned because if he had surgery, he said it would take care of it at the start of the off season, and it wouldn't be anything to worry about, and he'd be fine. So the Mason Wynn news doesn't really change my view that he's a player I would stick with and try to build around, if that's your question.
Bless America.
Whoa. He messed up the drop.
No, it's for some reason, some of these ones are just like going to blast my eardrums off for some reason, and I'm going to go ahead and lower this one and see if this actually makes it playable. Let's see if this drop is playable.
I appreciate it, Jim. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so we're bringing back Flaherty.
Oh.
I like that guy. I'd bring him back.
I'd bring him back. He's pitching pretty good over there in Detroit. Now, with his meniscus, is it the same knee he's already tore it in once that he tore it in again?
I think so.
So can't you just get it out? Does it affect you that much? Like I've known people that have torn it a few times and they just get their meniscus removed.
I'm told it's a relatively simple surgery.
Oh, well,
that's what I'm told.
Then maybe not that extreme.
You're not out for a long time. He also has the back issue, so I get why some people would look at that as a red flag. I don't. I like the fact that he's been playing through it and been in pain and not at 100% and still pretty damn good, at least defensively. And he's still, over 250 as a hitter? I'll take that.
The other thing that came, at least from that Katie Wu report that talked about the surgery that jumped out to me was the line that Nolan Arenado is coming back on Monday, and just the straight up line from Katie Wu's article was Nolan Arenado will return to and start over Nolan Gorman at third base. Just what do you think the best reasoning is for giving Nolan Arenado these starts over the last 12 games or so?
I don't think it's anything but Arenado is a prideful player and he wants to play and they're going to let him. I don't see any upside to letting him play.
Yeah.
I don't see any upside into not letting him play. Do you think that his trade value will change at all over? I don't. So, and I don't think your view of Gorman is going to change either way. So I just don't think it's a good story because you're like, wait, what about the runway for Gorman? I don't think it matters either way. And to be honest, I was surprised that Arenado wanted to come back, but I knew he was dead serious on it. And he just wants to be on the field for a couple of weeks, maybe for his own mental state that he can say, look, I'm back. I know I can be better than I was. I don't know. But from the Cardinals standpoint, I just, am I wrong? I don't think it matters either way if it's Gorman or Arenado. We're talking basically about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it matters I think it probably could matter for Nolan Gorman's confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but
the guy's been playing pretty well. He's been established. He's improved the defense.
Season's over.
Yeah,
the season's over. It's not like he's going to all season. He's like, man, if I had that 2.5 weeks back, I'd feel much better. I think they have an idea what they want to do. Could they use more time? Sure. I mean, but the problem is, as we've discussed, there's some redundancy built into this roster that makes things more difficult than you'd like them to be.
Now, if you had to, we're talking about our plan for 2026. What would you put the percent chance that Nolan Arenado is on this opening day roster in 2026? Because there's no guarantee. I mean, we all thought last offseason, no shot he'd be on the team this year, and he is. What would you set it at for next year?
I'll answer your question with a question. Why, one, or I guess two questions. How much money are the Cardinals going to eat, and why would any other Major League Baseball team take him?
I don't know. What do you think, Jim?
Well, he's not old, and I do think he's well. I get it. I do think he has upside because he's Nolan Arenado first. Defensively, we've seen he's still really good. That's something. And if he has anything at the plate again, that's a big plus. And I think teams that might be in dire straits, looking for some veteran leadership, maybe third base will be a position of need for them. I think there's a chance. But being honest, I thought he'd be gone this year. He wasn't. I also thought the year before he would have a bounce back year. He didn't. So I'm being transparent. I've been wrong about Nolan Arenado in the past.
Yeah, and it feels like also, though, the Cardinals don't really have – there's not a guy that they're super, super excited about to come in and play third base. I think if, Weatherholt was a third baseman all through the minors, they would find a way to get Arenado out of here. But there's no one I think that they're rushing on to fill Nolan Arenado's spot at third base, which might be part of the reason why they're just kind of playing it by ear.
I don't really know what can you do with him right now. You don't have many options, and like I said, look, the whole season was supposed to be about runway, and I said this on the Serving It Up podcast. I don't think we know a lot more about this roster now than we did before. I think there's still some question marks that we would have hoped would have been answered.
I mean, if that's your then this season was essentially a failure.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. First of all, I think for them to be even playing close to 500 with the roster that they've had, I think I think you give Ollie Marmol credit for that. I don't think it was a great roster, but in terms of the game plan of runway and finding out everything you need to know, then if you want to call it a failure, call it a failure. I still think there are some question marks. Do you know everything you want to know about Gorman, about Newbar? Maybe you do. I don't know.
I'll say, like, if we go through it, I think you have question marks about Gorman and Walker, obviously. I think with this runway, not that Mason Wynn wouldn't have gotten it, but he solidified your opinion on him that, he's one of the best shortstops in the league. He's going to hit, and he's been banged up. I think Newbar, they got answers on, though. And it's that maybe he's not what we thought he was. I think the question marks on him, and he was playing almost every day, the fact that there's still uncertainty, I think that leads to your answer that maybe it is time that you find other spots for Lars Newbar. I wouldn't.
Then
be
isn't it
shocked
the
if they
same
trade
with
him.
Walker? Then isn't it the same with Walker?
Yes, but I don't think Jordan Walker got to play as much as Lars Newbar did, and that's where I see the failure is that if you were really serious about the runway, Jordan Walker would have been in right field every single game. But I don't know. I don't know how serious they were about it.
On the Gorman point, my thing about this season with Nolan Gorman is you wanted to see him change his approach at the plate to be more of a professional hitter, and he has undeniably done that over this season. That's just a fact. And over the last 2 months, we've seen him prove that he can be a Major League Baseball third baseman, which has always been his most natural position, or the position at least he played coming up. Like, those are the two things you needed to see from Nolan Gorman. Yes, there's still another part of the equation. It's not finished yet, in that you need to see him combine his new approach at the plate with some of the power that got him to where he's been. But he's 25 years old, and I think you've seen a lot of what you needed to see from Nolan Gorman, at least to say the potential plan we have for this guy can happen in 2026. It's not finished, but there's at least still the ceiling is still there for Nolan Gorman, and that was a big part of this season, and that's why putting in Nolan Arenado at any point, to me, it just throws off what has been a continuation of the plan that's actually worked this season.
Listen, the ceiling is still there for a lot of these guys because they didn't play particularly well. I mean, that to me
did they show why the ceiling should be there? Like, what has Jordan Walker shown this year that tells you the ceiling's still there?
Not a lot.
Well, because he didn't hit, and I believe he can hit. So that's, to me, meaning he didn't reach his ceiling. With Gorman, I like Gorman. I think if Gorman could be everything that we think he might be, that would be like the solution to a huge problem. I just don't think he's there yet. And I think for people that are trying to analyze if this is the guy we want to put all the eggs in hhis basket at third base, I think they're legitimate questions. I'm being honest. I like the guy. I agree with you. Look, I think he's gotten better defensively as the weeks have passed. I've seen enough to make me believe that he can get back to being, a guy who's going to give you 30 home runs. But if you're being fair about it, when someone says they still have questions, I think it's hard to argue that.
Jim, I'm curious with Jordan Walker, because we all know his ceiling. We all know what he was meant to be. But has that changed now? I mean, he has over 900 at bats in his major league career. He's been a below average player if you look at WAR throughout his career. Is his ceiling changed from the superstar we were expecting when he was first called up to now his ceiling might be just hopefully he can be a above average everyday player, or should the Cardinals look at him differently now?
Well, he's still a young guy, and if you follow baseball, there's been dozens of guys who ended up as stars.
Yeah,
who took a year or two, or maybe more, to kind of find their legs. But look, they've given him some runway, maybe not as much as you'd like to see, and he struggled with it. So while I also think part of the deal is I think the talent's in there, and Jordan Walker will be a good major league player. What happens is, if you're Chaim Bloom, because these are tough decisions, if you're like, look, I see enough in Walker, I see enough in Gorman, I see enough in this guy and that guy, and all of a sudden they're your guys next year, and you're in the same situation where you're just not going to win, a bunch of games if it doesn't work out. They have to be smart and figure out which are the right moves, and I would say that that's difficult right now.
Do you think it'd be the wrong move, or do you think it'd be outcry and the wrong move if Chaim Bloom decided to move on from Jordan Walker this year, or do you think that there was enough time
to get a fair assessment?
Yeah,
I think there was. That doesn't mean that Jordan won't be a great player. I think, look, he's got to make his moves, and first of all, you're not giving anyone away. Jordan Walker's a talent,
and
there's still going to be a ton of interest in him, but I'm going to have to kind of change things around in order, to make this team viable going forward. And who knows which of those players that he's seen enough of. It's not my call. Like I said, I think Jordan Walker is going to be a good major league player. He's young, but it's up to Chaim if they've seen enough, or, if they want him to be part of it, or if he's something they think they can get something for.
Rock, you were shaking your head when I was bringing that up. You think there's no chance they move on?
No, I don't think it. I think they're going to stick with him another year.
Do you think there's
at the very least?
So what outfielder do you think they do move on from, or do you think we'll see? Do you think they move on from Nootbaar?
Yeah,
he's traded.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think they'll stick with. I think Burley, Donnie, unless they can't come to a long-term deal with him this year. Burley, Donnie, Walker are pretty much locked in. I think the lefty we see get shipped out as Lars Nootbaar, which I think makes sense both for the long term and the short term.
And now,
I think they're gonna have to put more things in the pot, because they're gonna have to get starting pitching.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to get arms. I'm not saying you're gonna get a number one starter. I'm just saying at some point they're gonna have to try to grab some guys who are closer to being major league ready, who they believe in. Because right now they have a bunch of guys who are prospects, who had potential, who are hurt. You don't know what their status is going to be, and they have to accumulate arms somewhere along the way. That's why I think we are going to see some guys go. I don't know who, though.
Well, I think right now the Cardinals' biggest issue is, if you look at the rotation, let's just say the rotation next year is Sonny Gray, Liberatore, Palante, and is there another? Michael McGreevy. Yeah, sorry, McGreevy. Every guy there but Sonny Gray is a 4 or 5 guy, at least right now in their careers. Some days they're going to be really good. Some days they're going to struggle a little bit, maybe give up 5 earned runs. They're all kind of 3, 4, 5 guys. You need to find somebody that you trust to be a 2 or 3. I think that has been the Cardinals' biggest gap the last few years. Even this year, I mean, they're only 4 games back. Imagine if they just didn't have Eric Fetty for half of that this season. I think they went 3-17 in his starts, or some number like that. Imagine if you have a pitcher that gets you just a couple games below 500. You're right in the mix in this wild card race. It's not really a ton of signings, I don't think, Jim, that they need to really be competitive. They just need to make a couple of the right moves.
You're talking about getting number 2 or 3 pitchers. That's a 20 and that's a 20 million and a $15 million move. That's $35 million. That
I'm not saying they need both of those.
There's $30-40 million right there.
They needed one. They need one because I think they can handle 3 of the other. And you're hoping maybe McGreevy's a number 3.
Here's the thing, too, fellas. In my opinion, I've said it on this show a million times. They got lucky this year. Their starting rotation, for good or bad, for better or worse, was healthy. But that never happens. So you go into spring training, you're like, we got 8 starters, and next thing you know, you're a month into the season and you have 3 starters. That happens. They need, in my opinion, to stockpile arms, not just arms, but I agree. I don't know how you get them, but a guy who's a middle of the rotation guy who's going to give you innings. And to be honest, that's who Fetty was before, he fell off the cliff. But a guy like that, and then also, I think you need some other, a couple other young arms to restock the minors with, guys that you can call up if someone gets hurt, guys who you believe have a future, because the draft picks aren't going to be quite ready. And you could run into a bad situation being left short with pitching.
I don't know. Maybe Landon Doyle has a big 2 weeks. Let's go to the chat here. Degenerate Wombat. Who gives an F about the Cardinals, 25 or 26? They're a dumpster fire at the big league level and somehow a subpar farm system. Weatherholt and Doyle are the only positives in the organization.
Okay. And I didn't even know it. So has Weatherholt played in 8 games, 7 games?
He has not played for a few
I believe
games.
he didn't play 5 straight games. He was supposed to return last night after dealing with a non-baseball illness, excuse me.
Well, I was dealing with the same thing, so I think that's
I think yours technically was a baseball illness.
Yeah, you got sick.
It was caused by baseball, in my opinion. I feel like that was a baseball illness, Jim.
But Lance Lynn and I think Holiday are both on the same page. They want to see Weatherholt at second base.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when it's short and build around that. Like I asked him, give me one player.
Oh, we're going to get to this.
Okay. You want me to wait?
Yes, just a minute. Just because we've had multiple people text in about this topic, and before you set it up, I want to get to their texts. Because we've gotten a bunch of this stuff. We Spartan 4-4 with Mason being what should be the long-term shortstop. Why isn't JJ playing other outfield positions on a daily basis in the minors instead of shortstop? He's playing third base. Terrell Whitener, Science says Matt Holliday's take. The only player he wouldn't trade would be Weatherholt. Surprise, McGreevy and Wynn are not on that list. And we also got another one here from I've lost it here in the chat. So we got multiple people here talking about JJ Weatherholt and Matt Holliday's take. You do a show with Matt Holliday?
I think they call it a podcast.
A podcast. Tell me about that.
It's called Serving It Up. It's with Lance Lynn, Matt Holliday, and Kyle Gibson, who almost never shows up for it.
Come on, Kyle.
Yeah, that's true. And you can find it on Jim the Cat Hayes YouTube page. We just posted a new one yesterday. And among the other topics like nastiest fan base, flat pillow or fluffy pillow on the road, I asked him if you had to pick one Cardinal in the organization, one guy you're like, I'm not trading. And also, just for background, they kind of felt like you listened for everyone, just in case. But the one guy they both said that they would not deal is JJ Weatherholt.
JJ Weatherholt's the only guy I wouldn't trade. I think everybody else is. I mean, look, we're all everyone that's ever played in the right deal is tradable. I mean, look, if you're given, I mean, assets that are better than what that one player is, everyone's tradable. But I mean, I think if you asked me if there was one player that's I think is a potential all-star that's young, that's going to be making league minimum. I mean, JJ Weatherholt to me is the one guy that I wouldn't trade. I mean, obviously, if someone came in and knocked your socks off, you would consider trading him. But I think as far as trade value goes, I think his is probably the highest, in my opinion, in the organization.
Good one. And I think that if you were to look at him and Mason Wynn together, you don't touch either one of them, and you put them at second and shortstop, and then you build the team around them. I think that's where they're at right now. And then the pieces that they have with Burleson and Donovan, and you make sure that those guys have at bats in a position, and then after that, it's obviously if Notto's back and they don't trade him, he's your third baseman. And then if you look at your infield, it's kind of set right there.
That sounds like a really good podcast to me, fellas.
I think you should go listen to it.
Yeah, we only heard 2/3 of the people talking.
Yeah.
Or 2/4.
They don't let the host talk very much, which maybe is how it should stay.
No, actually, I talk too much because it's like you got to orchestrate, right? Like Holiday's looking over at the breakfast buffet, thinking, is the show over yet? Like you got to keep that stuff together, boys.
Jim, none of us know this, but I apparently to maintain those muscles, he has to eat a lot of calories.
Oh,
I've been told. I wouldn't know anything about it though. Degenerate Wombat. Here was the other quote we got about the podcast I want to put up. I now actually see the Sims pod clips now that it's on St. Louis Sports Central's feeds. Pretty good.
Thank you.
How about that, Dave Green?
Great guy. Now,
yeah, Dave Green has taken this podcast to another level, even though I'm part of it, so it's probably never going to be great. Dave has really helped out, so thank you, Dave Green.
Now, that's what a lot of people say, though, is that you should build your team through the spine, through up the middle, and that's kind of what the Cardinals are doing. They have maybe a top 3 defensive center fielder in the league in Victor Scott for the foreseeable future, and then if you put Weatherholt at second and Wynn at third, you're hoping those are 3 guys that will be part of this organization for the next decade, and that's a pretty good.
And they're stocked
basis
at catcher. And they're stocked at catcher.
Well, they're stocked at catcher.
Well, to that point, Gino comes into the chat on YouTube, and you guys can jump into the YouTube chat on the YouTube stream and just search Lou Info on YouTube or Hot Take Central 2.0. You can also check out the links on our good friends Grant and the Cats Twitter pages as well. Why is Pajes still playing is the biggest question for me. You know what he is. Crooks should be behind the plate every night. It's hard for me to disagree with that. I understand why they keep playing Pajes. I understand the control he has and the defensive prowess that the organization views him. But I'm 100% behind the idea of play Crooks, 3 out of 4 nights to the end of the season.
I'm not against that, but if he only plays 2 or 4, okay.
I'm angry.
I think Crooks is gaining a lot just by being up, and even when he's not behind the plate, he's part of the meetings and he watches everything, and I think that's a good learning experience. So yeah, I'm not mad for every start that Crooks doesn't get.
We also have some chatter in here about potential trades this offseason in 2026. A lot of comments talking about trading Brendan Donovan.
Yeah, Sam Mother, can Donovan get you that number 2 pitcher?
Mason Windu says trading Donovan makes the most sense for many reasons, including he's not very good against lefties. Now, if there was ever a time to trade Brendan Donovan, and I'm not saying that it's the right or wrong move, now's the time. He's coming off an all-star season, probably his best season in the big leagues. His value is at an all-time high and probably will fetch a decent amount, especially if you're unsure where you're going to play him. But I still, it's hard. It would have to be for that number 2, in my opinion.
Do you think he'd get a number 2? And this isn't anything against Donnie. I like him, and I think he's a great guy to have on your team. But a number 2 for a guy who doesn't really have a set position, maybe that's a plus. He can play just about anywhere. I just don't know if you get a number 2 for that. I don't know.
I agree.
You're not getting number 2 for Brendan Donovan. And again, my whole thing with Donovan is if you can get the deal done this fall, fine. New Pobo and all that should be able to get the deal done. Hopefully, you can break that cycle of players who went to arbitration never signing and things like that. But if you don't get a deal done this year and it's another free, if it's a new GM or Pobo dealing with the arbitration and they still don't find a deal, just trade him at that point. Package it like you said, Jim, earlier in the show. You're probably not getting the pitching you need in just a 1-for-1 player. You're going to have to combine a lot of these things together to get enough value to get the pitching you need. And Brendan Donovan can certainly be the centerpiece of the deal. but he can't be the only part of a deal. He can't be the only name in a deal. But you know,
maybe
there's some team out
prospects.
there that's completely bereft of left-handed hitting, and you give them Newt and Brendan Donovan along with a prospect, and that way you've now freed up multiple positions for Gorman, Weatherholt. You've freed up the outfield jam, so on and so forth. It works in a lot of ways.
And I'm all in on Burley. I like
Burley,
and I do think if you have Weatherholt at second, Wynn at short, Burleson, Donnie, unless you trade them away, and Herrera, and Contreras, I think you have pieces where you can build some. I just don't know if they have enough pitching to get there with the current group.
Oh, you're a right shoulder. Oh, Hayes again.
I think I've been pretty fair. And
yes.
Would you say that I've been fair, Rock?
Hold on. Let's listen to Seth.
So mean.
That wasn't mean. I was trying to get him runway.
Runway?
Yeah, you didn't even say that phrase with a straight face right there. You broke at the end. You got to the W and couldn't make it. Cam says he crushed his first drive.
Let's go.
He said he's also feeling good. And if you know Cam, you know what that means. He says, I have to play every one of my own shots. This is horrible. I just crushed my first drive. I guess we're going to be getting live updates from Cam Jansen here. We talked about J.J. Weatherholt obviously being that player. You heard Lance Lynn weigh in on the positional factor. Randy Carricker has been big on this on the podcast, Jim, about moving Weatherholt in with his superb athleticism, getting him time in the outfield. We got that from Spartan 4-4. Again, you heard it from Lance Lynn there. I disagree with him on the Arenado thing, but are you 100% locked in on? And obviously, I think the Cardinals are locked in on J.J. Weatherholt as a second baseman.
No, and I'll be honest.
Okay.
I've only seen clips of him, so I heard his arm probably isn't great long term for shortstop. I'm just going on what I read and people I know that have seen more of him. I hear he's a great athlete. You would think if Herrera can go to the outfield, having not played there since he was 12, and not kill you, that a guy who a little younger and hadn't dealt with any injuries, maybe he would hit the ground running as an outfielder, and that would certainly give you other options at second base. You have Brendan Donovan more comfortable at second base. Yeah, I'd be all for it. I don't know enough about him to say, lock him in the outfield.
Why do you think, and Randy said he's talked to multiple people inside the Cardinals organization, and they've every single time he's brought up left field or center field, they've said, no, we want him, we know where we want to play him. Why do you think, I'm not saying you've talked to these people or have this inside knowledge, just from your years in baseball and the logic, why do you think a team would, if you want to call it stubborn, you can, just be so adamant that this guy has to be one spot as he comes up?
I think in terms of strength up the middle, I think Grant brought that up too. That's part of it. I also think if you have a dynamic young player like Wynn, and to me it's appealing to have a guy right next to him who's got sort of the same type of skill set. That's pretty cool. But I don't think the Cardinals are 100% set on how they're going to handle Weatherholt, except for the fact that my guess would be he isn't going to be moving around an awful lot. They want him to settle in on a set position.
And I was going to bring that up, Jim, is that it feels like sometimes with some of the Cardinals' better players lately is that they've been trying to find spots. They've moved Gorman around. They've moved Donovan around. They have a lot of guys that are above average, decent at a couple positions, but it feels like with this guy in Weatherholt, who's supposed to be a superstar, maybe the next face of your franchise, you want to lock him in and make him feel just as comfortable as he can at one position, whether that's second, whether that's left, whether that's right, whatever it may be, get him locked in at a spot, and you're good at that spot for the next, hopefully, 5-10 years.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you're trying to make it easier for a young player, then take some of the stuff off the plate, meaning learn how to play this position, and tomorrow you have to figure out this position and that position. Yeah, I would agree with that. Brendan Donovan is a guy who excels being everywhere. Not everyone is Brendan Donovan.
I agree with that.
We've gotten a lot of chats towards something Grant said, and we're going to hit it on the other side of the break. Grant made a comment about a certain Cardinals outfielder. It immediately triggered the YouTube chat. So if you want to jump in, we're talking about the Cardinals roster. We're going to keep going on the other side of this break. You can text the show 314-590-3770. Please stream us right now live on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the stream. Make sure you jump into the chat as well. We're talking about the Cardinals outfield when we come back. Call in 855-282-8255. This is Hot Take Central on the Lou Information Station, KLIS. Grant Salsman, Matthew Rocky, and Jimmy the Cat Hayes coming back to you on just the other side.
Hot Take Central 2.0.
Now, as you sports fans know,
it's really getting out of hand, man. It's going way out of control.
With Cam Jansen.
I'm going to lead you down the path that rocks.
And Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
You're a legend in the city, moving by day instead of night.
Weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Hell yeah.
Only on the Lou Information Station. Streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Hot Take Central 2.0.
This whole situation is getting out of control.
louinfo.com news headlines. Brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. 222-2222.
This is your louinfo.com news update. A teacher was injured during an incident involving a student Thursday morning at Northview High School in St. Louis County. The teacher was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and the student is in custody. The school and 2 others briefly went into lockdown as a precaution. Police are still investigating what led to that incident. St. Louis police have arrested 25-year-old Kenneth Dotson in connection with a fatal drive-by shooting last month. The victim, 24-year-old Darian Reed, was shot near South Kings Highway in Connecticut after leaving a gas station on August 23rd. He died days later from a neck wound. Surveillance footage led to Dotson's arrest on Thursday. One person was killed early Thursday morning after being hit by a vehicle on westbound I-64 in West St. Louis County. The crash happened around 6 a.m. near Timberlake Manor Parkway. All westbound lanes were shut down for several hours during the investigation. The cause of the incident is still under investigation. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com, I'm Jen Austin.
Now, louinfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your louinfo.com weather update. We're back into a summertime pattern through the upcoming weekend, and it looks like into next week, very low rain chances. Sunny today, and we're headed for the mid-90s. Looks like low 70s and a few clouds for the overnight hours. Another hot one on Saturday, mid to upper 90s and sunny. A few clouds on Saturday night, a slight chance of a thunderstorm, and 90s on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Hey everyone, Cam Jansen here to tell you about the experts at Fast Signs in Earth City. Fast Signs can handle any and all of your business visibility needs, from traditional signs and graphics to digital to core graphics and anything in between. Fast Signs in Earth City has you covered. The station uses them, the Blues use them, and you will love the work they do. Call 314-344-4400 for your custom signage needs today. That's Fast Signs in Earth City, 314-344-4400.
Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill has a new menu.
But don't freak out.
Hot Shots favorites are still there, like their famous wings, tacos, burgers, and pizzas. Plus, sure to be new faves like Big Philly egg rolls, the Bold and Hearty Slugger sandwich, the Buffalo chicken pizza, and 2 new wing sauces, Carolina Gold and Bourbon Glaze. And making a comeback, it's the return of Hot Shots' legendary waffle fries. So now there's even more to love at Hot Shots. Come try out the new menu at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Find the location nearest you at hotshotsnet.com.
Is your brand stuck on the sidelines? Tired of feeling like your marketing budget is just warming the bench? Well, then it's time to get in the game with Eyesight Media. We don't just put your brand near the action, we put you in the action. Imagine this, your company front and center, showcased in NCAA and pro stadiums and arenas nationwide. If you're ready to elevate your brand to MVP status, don't miss this shot. Visit eyesightmediagroup.com today to apply for an in-arena partnership. That's eyesightmediagroup.com.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy?
Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view.
And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds.
Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback?
Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back.
So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket.
Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation.
That's peace of mind.
That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this?
Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered.
The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Buddy, it don't get much better than this.
Yep.
In your city with Kelly and Gordon. It's the hottest happy hour in STL radio. A high-energy, high-impact weekday radio show blending relationship values, celebrity buzz, community love, and sharp business insight. This is where storytelling meets strategy. It's the pulse of this city, bringing the energy, stories, and voices of STL to life. In your city with Kelly and Gordon. Weekday afternoons at 4, only on the Lou Information Station. Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
These two men here, are they with you?
On the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
All right, I lied because the commenters jumped in during the break and kept talking about Brendan Donovan. So we're going to hold back their criticism over Grant's comments on an outfielder towards the second hour because we just got a couple minutes here before we have to go back to break. Sam Mother jumped in. A lot of it is the Donovan man love. That seemed like it might be a little extreme, but hell,
That's a strong
I do
word.
love me some Brendan Donovan. I think he's right. A guy will be 29 next year who hits around 275, around 60 RBI, will hit you 10 to 13 home runs, is not worth an extension. I feel like he's a pretty useful player. Those are the players you usually want to re-sign. Jim, is he not? Is he not at least the Tommy Edman level player? Should he not at least have the 5-6 years, $72 million?
I think he's absolutely worth that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams would say he's worth that because he can do a lot of different things for you, including, which isn't even something on the top of some people's list, be sort of a leader on a team that's going to be tilting on the young side, outside of the fact that you can put him at any position and he's good there and you don't have to worry about it and he'll hit for you. My only thing is I just don't think you're going to get a great starting pitcher for him if you trade him. But yeah, I'd like to see him locked up in part of the team.
So Tommy Edman got the deal he got, which is about $12 million a year across 5 years, plus some, and there's some options at the end of it. And he is a 98 OPS plus player. And actually, he was better as a Cardinal. He was a 100 OPS player as a Cardinal. He's been a 91 OPS plus player as a Dodger. Comparing that to Brendan Donovan, who sits with a career OPS of 116. OPS plus, excuse me. Of 116. And that right there.
2.4 WAR this season as well.
Yeah, I'm not. It's hard with WAR with a utility player. It's only positional. So I'm not going to use WAR. I don't like using WAR in the first place. I hate using WAR with utility players.
And also, people sometimes put WAR like that stat is the final say. It's a piece of the puzzle, like everything else.
It's still a good number for him.
I'm just saying, OPS plus is we're talking. He brought up only the offensive numbers, and the utility, in my opinion, is a bonus. I hate that we and the arbitrators, or some people and the arbitrators, apparently use utility as a negative factor to kind of dig at a player. I think it's a plus factor. So I mean, he's literally a 20 to 30% or 20 to 25% better hitter than Tommy Edman. He certainly deserves the extension. How much of that does, should the Cardinals be the one to give them that extension? That might be more of a discussion here. And that's where Gino dives in. He says, not on a rebuilding team anyway. I agree. Rebuilding teams also need guys on 5-year deals where they're getting paid $15 million a year. That's a solid deal for a winning baseball player.
Yeah. And if you're going to trade someone else who we're not talking about and suddenly create holes in your lineup, there's no one better to plug holes in a lineup than Brendan Donovan,
Mhm.
right? So he gives you more freedom to act on other deals that you might think would help your ball club.
And we talked about it's although he's having a career year and maybe one of the best complete season of his career.
It's actually by OPS plus. It's
It is,
not.
but
He's
this
actually
is
falling off.
But this is one of the first seasons I think that looking at it that he's played. He's an all-star. It's a complete season, but his numbers, like you said, are a little less than what his career stats are. So he's been a consistent above average hitter in his career. I don't think it's a guy you're worried about giving a contract to. If you do, it's not like this is an outlier season, I should say.
Mason Windu points out, look at Donovan's stats against lefties, OPS plus around 70, way below league average. Donovan is almost a platoon player. Well, I mean, if you eliminate the issue of having so many damn lefties who aren't good against lefties, then maybe you can bite the bullet on that. Yeah, he's not perfect, and that's why he's a $12 to $15 million a year player, not a $25 million player.
Yeah, no one said you want to build around him. He's just a guy that kind of completes your roster with a guy who's very versatile and good.
We'll come back to more Cardinals discussion, including the outfield in the second hour here on Hot Take Central 2.0. If you want to jump into the chat, like everyone has been doing so diligently, you can right now on the YouTube show. And you want to search on YouTube for Lou Info, jump in on louinfo.com as well. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
Let's talk about your health insurance. There are a lot of reasons why people need affordable health insurance. But here's the bottom line. You know you need affordable health insurance. For you, a spouse, a family member, whatever. I'm going to give you a free hotline to call to find affordable health insurance that can cover all your health insurance needs in case you get sick or have an emergency. Plus, cover vision, dental, and more. And there are no long-term commitments. You can keep your plan as long as it's affordable. And for the price of a cup of coffee. We're not talking about one of those fancy coffees. For the price of a regular cup of coffee a day, you can have quality, affordable health insurance. Call the health insurance hotline for a free quote.
800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. 800-373-8414. That's 800-373-8414. All aboard!
There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation. Travel by train. Yes, consider traveling around the United States on Amtrak. Traveling by train is a lot less of a headache than taking a plane, and you'd be surprised how many places you can go on an Amtrak. And there's no passports or IDs needed. Find out how to get where you're going as soon as tomorrow by train. Call the Amtrak Travel Hotline right now. We'll book your trip and email your tickets within minutes. Skip the drive to the airport and skip the lines. Call right now to book your Amtrak reservations. We service most of the United States.
All aboard!
Do something new. Travel by Amtrak today.
800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. 800-428-9517. That's 800-428-9517.
Broadcasting live from the J. Randolph Jr. Studios in Kirkwood.
Daddy is out of the cleaning up dump business.
KLIS 590 AM, Wood River, St. Louis.
USA Radio News. The Carolina Panthers have fired communications coordinator Charlie Rock over social media comments about the death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Rock reportedly posted, quote, "Why are y'all sad? Your man said it was worth it," close quote. He also posted a Wu-Tang Clan song reference. The team says the comments do not reflect its values. Columnist Miranda Devine of the New York Post called Kirk's death part of an epidemic of leftist violence, praising his work shaping a generation of leaders grounded in reason, faith, and courage. The State Department is warning that it may revoke the visas of foreigners who glorify violence after the shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
On Thursday, Deputy Secretary of State Chris Landau said, "Foreigners who glorify violence and hatred are not welcome visitors to our country." He added he was disgusted to see some on social media praising, rationalizing, or making light of the event. Landau said consular officials have been told to undertake appropriate action. Kirk was fatally shot Wednesday while holding a rally in Utah. The suspect remains at large. I'm Mark Neafield.
The former White House House Press Secretary under President Biden is scheduled to testify today in the GOP probe of Biden's mental fitness while in office.
What I have decided to do, and I really have thought long and hard about this, is to follow my own compass.
Karine Jean-Pierre previously agreed to do a closed-door interview, but it's unknown if she will plead the fifth and not answer questions. The probe has been focused on Biden's mental decline and the use of an auto pen. Republicans say the use of the auto pen may make some of Biden's pardons void. I'm Brian Shook.
Brazil's conservative former president, Jair Bolsonaro, has been sentenced to 27 years in prison. Brazil's left-leaning Supreme Court convicted him of plotting a coup after the 2022 election, a move critics call political payback against a popular right-wing leader. From America's News Network, this is USA Radio News.
Business owners, are you paying high phone bills for old school systems and lousy service? StrongTel cuts your phone bills in half and turns every phone you own into a feature-rich business system. Sean Roddy, CEO of Hennings Brothers Drilling, had this to say: "We've been a StrongTel customer for over 10 years. It's great. It even includes an intercom with video to our equipment yard. I can watch live from anywhere with my smartphone. I'd recommend StrongTel to anyone. Never miss a customer call again with your StrongTel business system. StrongTel is a proud iTex partner and always welcomes your iTex dollars. You'll get award-winning StrongTel service, a business-class phone system, and cut your phone bill in half. So visit StrongTel.com right now. That's StrongTel, StrongTel.com. It's StrongTel.
News reports on the Lou Information Station are presented by Brown and Crouppen.
So what's his handle?
GetBC.com.
You're gonna need lawyers, right?
Who needs a vacation? Are you ready for an unforgettable getaway? Start packing your bags because Branson, Missouri, the vacation and entertainment capital of the U.S., is calling your name. For just $99 per person, here's what you get: a full 3-day, 2-night stay in a luxury resort hotel, a delicious full breakfast buffet every morning you're here, and when you call right now, free show tickets worth up to $100. That's right, free show tickets to an award-winning show on us. You don't have to leave the country for an amazing vacation. You can drive or fly to Branson and have an incredible time. Whether you bring in the whole family or just planning a romantic escape, this trip is built for you. We guarantee you'll love Branson. This is not a timeshare. It's just an unbeatable vacation deal for only $99 per person. You book now, you can use your tickets anytime this year. You don't even need to know your travel dates to lock in the special price. Hurry, because this offer won't last long. Call our Branson vacation experts today.
800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. 800-497-7198. That's 800-497-7198.
Hey, listen to me. I'm one of the credit cards in your wallet. I'm about to explode and pop like a balloon. You're using me and my brothers way too much. Your credit cards aren't the only ones annoyed. It's your paycheck that doesn't have enough to pay everything. Save your credit cards, your paycheck, and yourself a lot of PAIN. Pain. Call the debt helpline now, not tomorrow, right now. Our experts will show you how you can cut your interest rates and your payments on your credit cards in half. Credit card companies have special assistance programs designed to help you. Make this 100% free call right now and learn how you could get out of credit card debt. Here's the number:
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569. Paid for by Zero Debt.
The Lou Information Station presents Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jensen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Welcome back to Hot Take Central 2.0, Hour 2, live on the Lou Information Station, louinfo.com, and more importantly now, the Lou Info app. That's what we need everyone to download. That's going to be the best place to watch and listen. Grant, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Lower that mic. Stand next to you so people can see your beautiful face. Yeah, we need people to see your beautiful face.
That's as low
That's
as
the
it
entire
goes.
reason we're on the camera. Well, like twist it out of your way.
Okay.
I don't want to be in your. I don't be in the way of your beautiful face. There we go. There we go. That's perfect, Grant. So check us out right now on YouTube, where you can listen to us live on the Lou Info app. You can download it now on Apple and Android, or you can just stream us live on the YouTube. Search Lou Info. Lou Info, and you can check us out on louinfo.com. Hot Take Central 2.0. Cam Jansen, Cat, he's apparently killing it as he reports to us semi-live from his member guest. He birdied the first, which means he wins the first hole, and he said he just crushed his drive on second. GD, I'm on my game so far, is the last update I've gotten from Cam Jansen. So it seems like the professional athlete he is, he's thriving out there on the golf course.
Well, it's good to know that 2 holes in, Cam is already declaring victory.
Now, it sounds like Cam and I are about the same level of golfer. And I went out maybe last week or the week before, and through the first 6 or 7, 8 holes or so, I thought I was a world beater golfer. I was playing very well, and then I kind of hit a wall and all fell apart. I'm interested to see when that wall is going to hit for Cam, because I think it's going to happen.
Grant, it's a lot like facing a lineup the second time through or third time through. Sometimes things change.
Yeah, so maybe you're good through that first 9, then all of a sudden all it takes is one shank in the woods to really have you
I think
overthinking.
There's also the chance of he's on his game so far right now. But what happens if he has Bloody Mary number 4?
Oh, so maybe he's feeling in a good spot through 2 or 3, and then maybe he overdoes it by 1 or 2. And
who among us?
Yeah.
Or someone just innocently mentions, Cam, you're sweating an awful lot.
Oh.
Do you think he's wearing a loose shirt? A loose shirt so
what?
the sweat, you can't see it as much? Or is he wearing the schmedium, as a texter called it yesterday, and then the sweat stains really show?
I think he's probably wearing a moisture wicking shirt.
Oh.
How tight is your shirt is my
Is
question.
he tucked in, you think?
I just texted Cam, how tight is your shirt?
Surely he's tucked in at a nice country club.
Birdied the second. I think I might be a sandbagger.
Is this from his handicap, or he's straight up like birdieing these holes?
His answer is very on how tight is your shirt.
If these are natural birdies, I'm very impressed right now.
I'm asking right now.
That's important. What if he makes a hole in one?
They'll run him out of town. Rightfully, they'll run him out of town because I think he's going to be a sandbagger if he gets a hole in one. Quick question, though, because clearly he's playing well, Jim, and I was worried that he was going to be rattled, but now I think we have to change tacks. And if any of the other contestants are listening, we now have to give them advice on how to rattle Cam. So you gave the advice on pointing out how much he sweats. That is undoubtedly going to get in his head. Speaking of head, maybe if he takes the hat off, you take advantage of that chance. Like, what do we think rattles him the most now that he is apparently locked in?
Or you could say something like, Cam, you look a little different. You a little heavier these days?
Oh, no. I could play this drop.
Janie Mae, I've been watching you.
That would rattle
That'd
him.
be good.
There's a lot of ways to rattle Cam Jansen, surprisingly.
More than you would think.
Yeah,
really
because
think
he's a professional athlete.
You're saying he shouldn't be rattled as easily as he is?
Shouldn't be rattled.
He's sensitive. We've been over this.
Yeah, there's a difference between being a little sensitive and being like a 16-year-old girl, like you said.
I didn't say it was a 16-year-old girl. Speaking of that, I think Cam might be listening. He says, don't rattle me. And he's saying they are natural birdies.
Wow.
So a 25 handicap
has been back-to-back
into
natural
a member
birdies.
guest with money on. Let's paint this picture really quickly.
So what is that on the net score? He might be making eagles or holes in ones, depending on how many pops he's getting on these holes as a 25 handicap. That might be a 1 on the handicap scorecard. He's gonna shoot a 50
if he does this again within the opening 9, and somebody sees 3 natural birdies. They're going to be so mad that a 25 handicap has 3 natural birdies on the front 9 if that happens. People are going to be furious. They're absolutely going to call him a sandbagger.
Listen, I want you to text him, how's the sweat situation? Just text him that. How's the sweat situation?
I really need to know, is he wearing pants? Is it nice enough course he has to wear pants at? Because then he'd be really sweating.
He had a pop on both. So he has 2 eagles to start.
Oh my gosh. Gino says, tell him the love handles aren't flattering in those tight shorts or in those tight shirts.
That's so mean. You guys are horrible.
What does age have to do with anything when it comes to sex?
That's terrible. The General Wombat says Andy blowing up his text with Rattle Cam. Yeah, if Andy was like, Cam, by the way, an interview just changed. It's going to be at 5 p.m. tonight. Immediately.
No, at like
rattled.
noon.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be too mean.
Thinking he has to get out of there.
I'm trying to rattle him, not ruin the round. Mason Windu comes in. If Bloom approaches this offseason the same way that Mo Zaylock and the Cardinals fans typically do, then 26 will be the same as 2024, 2025, etc. A lot of people with the changes in the front office are expecting changes in the posture this offseason, but I do also think with everything that potentially might come down the pipe in 2026, that's kind of handicapping my expectations. Is that fair for this offseason, or are the 26 Chicken Littles overreacting to that?
I think it's uncharted territory. Like, sometimes you have to take a big step back to take a big step forward. I just don't know exactly how Chaim Bloom is going to play his cards. I just don't know. I know he's really smart. I think he'll do a good job. I just don't know if the results will come now or a little bit down the road. I just look at this team and say, get some pitching, boys.
Yeah. It's crazy they're only 4 games out. And Rock and I were talking about at the break, like,
don't do this.
You just get one of those like Rockies
don't
games.
Do this.
Maybe you win 2 in Seattle this week when they led in 2 of those games and had chances to put them away.
But how many teams are in front of them right now?
You.
Like 7?
There's a lot. But I'm just saying
Four teams in front of them.
Well, if you stop listening to our show, go listen to Brendan Schaefer. There's something terribly wrong with you.
Thank you, Iggy.
Let me look at that for you. But I'm saying they would be above those teams with just 1 or 2 of those wins. They are currently the Mets, the Giants, the Reds, and the D-backs are all ahead of them, but they could be in that 2 to 1 game out if you pick up a few of those.
Okay, Grant, I'm a rights holder, so I tend to look at things more positively, even though I think I generally look at things more positively, even if I wasn't a rights holder.
I agree.
But one of the things about this ball club is just when you think they're ready to make a run, they don't, okay? So things were looking pretty good, and then they do something they had never done before. They get swept by the Mariners. You know, like, that's why I think going back and looking at this game or that series is a fool's errand.
I agree.
But by the same token, like, there was a lot of good stuff that they did in that Mariners series. I'm not trying to say that they were like wins. I'm saying that's kind of been the MO of this team is just when you think they are about to do something, they switched course.
And you think back to the end of June, they win their first 2 games against the Cubs. I think that is kind of the peak of the Cardinal season this year is when everyone thought, here we go. We're at that point, they were only 2 games behind the Cubs in the NL Central, something like that. We're going to keep it rolling. Let's just win 1 more game. And then they lose the last 2. Even at the beginning of August, the Cardinals were, I believe they got to a game or 2 with the Padres, and they won the first 2 games of that series and then lost the next 2, then went on a losing streak. So I think you hit the nail right on the head is that they continue to give you hope. They win a few games in a row. They were 1, 2, or 3 series in a row entering this Mariner series, and then they drop 2 or 3 games in just really brutal fashion, and hope fleets. But again, we've talked about it a lot, is it doesn't feel like they're that far away from being competitive next year. Get some pitching.
I'm with you on that. I'm not going to argue. I mean, and also being competitive is sort of a wide lane.
Very wide.
But I'm with you. And look, if they're competitive and you give, some young guys a shot and they play a more exciting brand of baseball, then fans will come back and maybe you are headed in the right direction. We'll see.
General Wombat tells me to quit being a simp.
Quit being a simp, Grant.
You know what? You're right. Sell everybody.
Well, if you stop listening to our show, go listen to Brendan Schaefer. There's something terribly wrong with you.
Let's tank.
Terribly wrong. That's fun. And
you're a rights holder. Oh, Hayes again.
Let's tank. Sell everybody. Nobody on this team should be on this team anymore. Sell them all.
Gino said, Grant, you're describing a 500 team. Nobody had hope.
I'm not saying I had hoped that they'd be World Series winners, but
Then what's the point?
that's true. I mean, winning's fun. Being in the playoffs is fun. I'm describing fun things here. Do I sound like I'm having fun?
Not at all. No. Sounds boring as all
This
get
team
out.
hasn't been very fun.
Mason
the
Wood,
last
the
few
Mariners
weeks.
are built to compete for the World Series. They are now tied with Houston for the division lead.
Yeah.
Look at their roster and compare it to the Cardinals. It's not even close in talent.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've said this before. Every team that the Cardinals are going to be facing or have, faced in the last couple of weeks seems like, oh, they got a 34 homer guy. And I'm not even talking about, 53 with Raleigh. Oh, they got 28, 34, 28. We got 20. We just don't match up.
They've scored in one inning, not counting the extra innings, in the last 5 games. They are lucky they win any of these games.
The offense has been dreadful.
It's hard not to just lock in on how terrible the offense has been.
Dreadful.
And just look, you can just go back to the All-Star break and just wonder why they were waiting so long. But again, you're close. You're within 2 or 3 games. You can't pull the plug on it. I get that. I understand why there's fans who are annoyed by them not doing it, but it doesn't make sense to do it in this town. I know maybe that's a pie in the sky way of looking at things, but I think
I agree.
I think it's the facts. Am I being a simp here? I might be simping it up here.
You're simping.
God dang it, I'm simping.
No, unless you demand everyone be traded and fired, then you're a simp. You know that.
I think that the Cardinals should be sold, actually. Everyone should be gone. Bring back Tony La Russa.
I mean, except me.
When I think of the
Yeah,
DeWitts
except
and
you.
John Mozeliak, I think of drunken sailors. For 2 years, I pretended to watch most of the games when I really didn't watch them. You can say what you want about this show, but we are better than the Cardinals.
Oh, we are better than the Cardinals.
You know what? Let's stop.
We
talking
win
about
every
that.
game.
Let's stop
That's
talking
debatable.
about the Cardinals.
We win every show.
Let's stop talking about the Cardinals.
Honestly, the WNBA should be in St. Louis.
Grant, your thoughts.
Yes. I heard Jim Hayes has moved his attention to that. He can't bring an NBA team here, so now he is.
Whoa.
No one said can't.
Thank you.
He has not yet.
Thank you.
I heard, though, his plan is to bring a WNBA team here, show how popular basketball is. Boom, NBA team. That's just the rumor I heard.
Grant, I still have cards to play and
Mhm.
huge amounts of money to throw at a problem. So,
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes me laugh every
I-
time. It's
yeah.
such a dumb. It's so
Well,
stupid.
I heard you have.
And every time it gets me to laugh.
I
I don't
heard.
know why.
I heard huge amount of money from potential investor who will go unnamed. Am I correct? There is that this mystery man is investing a ton of money.
Now I feel like I'm going to say something racial.
It's
Well,
an investor group, sir.
Oh,
they're
okay.
They're just chomping at the bit to let me spend their money
Mhm.
on something that I clearly will be over my head trying to undertake.
Yeah.
Are we?
And,
Are we?
I look
in,
forward to it.
Well, I heard-
Are we in B round? Are we still taking A round? Like how are we doing here?
At this point, I'm not really ready to lay out exactly how the process will unfold. Just know this: we have finances, and we have a plan, and we have the backing of a lot of state and city officials that would like to see this happen, who will go unnamed.
Would you say you have the concept of a plan?
No, I don't have a concept
Oh.
of a plan. I know what you're trying to do. I have a concept and a plan.
Oh,
Now, are these government officials by any chance similar to radio executives in their ability to comment on shows outside of their market?
The people that are on my team, the people with the big checkbooks,
I don't know why I'm laughing.
just have faith in my vision and my ability to get it done, and who can blame them?
Why are you laughing, boy?
Oh.
Why are you laughing, boy?
I can't.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm trying not to. I'm sorry. Science comes in. He's coming into town this week, and he says, packing for my trip to STL. Is it really going to be near 90 all week
Yeah.
next week? Well, I'll give you the old Apple forecast, and the answer
Heard
to that
that's really
question
accurate.
is, how do you describe near 90? Monday will be a high of 90. Tuesday will be a high of 90. Wednesday will be a high of 89. Thursday a high of 84. And then we're back into the calm and breezy, balmy 82 on Friday, and then low 80s on Saturday and Sunday.
breezy and
So,
balmy. That's how I describe you, Matt.
Yes. You know what? Let's talk about something. Grant keeps telling people, Jim, that I'm mean to him.
What?
And
I tell Kylie that.
I think I see that she would be people, or do you not think women are people?
Person.
Okay. You keep telling people that I'm mean to you, and I think we need to drill down into that. Do you think I'm mean to you, Grant? Do you think I'm mean to Grant?
No, I think you are a bully.
Oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you think I'm a bully?
Well, first, though, you would say I'm a bully. I don't bully the brand new guys. I try to give them space and be supportive. I try to bully other people.
You're gathering information
that are better suited to fight back, because I think it's good radio when you push a little bit. But I think I'm pretty nice to Grant. But I think you're a little tougher on Grant than I am.
I think you're gathering information when you're being quote unquote nice in the opening months of the person's employment. That's my
I think I've been
opinion.
employed enough that Jim can be mean to me now. From the person that gets the bullying,
yeah,
Rocky is actually just a pleasure to be around on air. It's normally when we're off air, Jim, I could go outside and be like, man, the sky's really blue today. And Rocky goes, no, actually it's not blue. It's actually the way the colors reflect off the ground with the sun. It's actually green. You just see blue. And I could walk in and say, Albert Pujols, man, he was one heck of a hitter. And Rocky would go, well, when he was with the Angels, actually, he struggled quite a bit. He wasn't that good with the Angels, Grant. He had to go to LA and really fix his swing. It's things like that it depends if he's in a combative mood or not. To
quote Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski, am I wrong?
I mean, no,
am I wrong?
Well, you're probably wrong about the sky thing. I would say that it's blue out today. But it's things like that, Jim. It's really things like that.
I just know that you probably
that was unfortunately accurate.
Won't have arrived in terms of how you're perceived until someone from the FM station calls you out and says, "Oh, if you want to listen to Grant, then there must be something wrong with you."
Well, if you stop listening to our show, listen to Brendan Schaefer. There's something terribly wrong with you.
I don't know if they know who I am yet. So I'm gonna say that might not happen yet. Not quite.
All I know is if you get called out by one of the big guns on the other station, you've made it. You've made it, buddy.
I played high school basketball.
I did play high school basketball, actually.
How many points a game?
4. We'll go 4. I feel like that's a fair assessment.
School?
Oh, the Seckman Jaguars down there in Jefferson County. Yeah. Real superstar in basketball, Jim.
And you were all conference in football?
I was much better at football and baseball than I was basketball.
Pretty good.
Thank
Rock,
you.
That's pretty good.
Or you a wingback in football?
I was a cornerback.
I thought you said you had an anecdote the other day about you going behind the
quarterback. Once you got to varsity, you had to pick a side. That was
run two-sided.
Yeah, we didn't.
You guys had that many people coming out. I guess
we had a lot of kids.
How big is Seckman?
Oh, about 2,000.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a big school.
I didn't realize that.
Class 6.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So yeah, we did not. We had plenty of kids.
So that concussion story was
that concussion was, I believe, I was JV. Yeah.
Okay.
When I got lit up.
Sound like you guys were doing a little bit of like wing T kind of stuff.
Yeah. Now
I said wing back. Obviously, I wasn't.
Yeah, my senior year, our quarterback led the state in rushing, and he threw for 119 yards.
Holy.
He ran for almost 2,500.
That is some 1950s stuff right there.
We actually, our wide receiver had more passing touchdowns than him off trick plays. So it was a really fun offense.
What kind of offense was it?
We ran actually, it's called the spinner offense. So how it works is there's 6 linemen, a running back lines up over the right guard, and the quarterback lines up behind the left guard, and the center snaps it to one of them, and then you run the play, and there's normally about 4 or 5 lead blockers. It is very fun.
It was invented by Dale Weiner at Catholic High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 2001.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was all built off a new way to run misdirections, counters, and sweeps, which sounds like you were describing on the play you got concussed on. It sounds like you guys were running some kind of like reverse or wildcat sweep kind of thing.
We ran a spread veer. So I was a wing back then. So I was
I was right.
So then we went after we got a change of coaching after my sophomore year. So once I got to varsity, then we went full out. We're going to run the ball every single play, and we're not even going to mess with wide receivers anymore. We're just going to put it all in, load the box, and mano-y-mano. And it worked, but it also helped.
Fast?
I was decently fast. I mean, I played corner, so I had to be a little fast. It also helped we had a guy that's now the starting running back at SEMO playing quarterback, so that benefited us a little bit. He was pretty fast.
Degenerate Wombat says, "Ooh, we got a Jeffco guy."
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the reaction's supposed to be there.
From the Co.
618, why does Rocky try to bully Grant like he's in his college fraternity hazing days, but he doesn't say peep to Jimmy and lets the cat steamroll him into oblivion? Jim, apparently I don't talk back to you at all, which might be news to you.
Yeah, I think you put up a good fight. I mean, it's futile, but you do put up a good battle. But I do think you're a little tougher with Grant. Not in a terrible way. I just think you're a little tougher on him.
I think he can take it.
He's hazing me.
That's what it is. I just think he can take it, Jim. No offense.
That's fine. And I think I'm a Grant fan. I think he's very smart. Now, since we don't air our dirty laundry on the radio, I'm going to air it right now.
Oh, let's go. This is the radio.
You could take more clips than one off my podcast and put them on the Twitter tweet.
We just played one.
I'm saying on the Twitter tweet.
Oh, okay.
Are you calling me?
Grant said he would do a couple. Oh. And then I counted them up, and I saw, let me count them up. One.
Oh, no.
Jim, I don't want to air out other people's dirty laundry on here. I just cut the clips, and I tell a person that the clips are made. I have no control over what clips are posted or when they're posted.
Post them yourself. Take the bull by the horns and show that I'm Grant. I'm a guy who was a star football and baseball player.
A star.
And you know what
I had black friends.
I'm going to take this runway, and I'm going to be the best that I can be.
I've never swam with Matt Whitener.
You're right. I'll talk to the higher ups about that, Jim.
Who are the high? It's Roderick.
Well,
hey now.
Part of the reason is I don't have the login to
that
the
man
YouTube.
Is director of content. Show some respect, Jim.
The director of social media is who you're looking for.
Genuflect when you say that name.
Genuflect.
Okay, hold up. Roderick does a solid job. This is not solid. I'm not knocking Joe Rod at all. He does a solid job.
He does a great job.
What I'm saying is to act like there's this huge chain of command. No, it's Joe Roderick. Dave Green don't want to be bothered by it.
You're right.
I don't like how you're putting down Roderick.
You're right.
Here.
I will talk to the higher ups about getting me that YouTube login, and then I'll start posting for you even more.
Just a couple. Just a couple.
Yeah, you don't want to overdo it.
Gino says he was watching Jaws last night. Robert Shaw talking about the Sharks' black eyes monologue is now ruined for me. I just laugh thinking of Brendan Schaefer.
And then Gino took a shot at my education.
Seckman student. I'm surprised she didn't believe Rockio when he said the sky is green. See, yeah, you're pointing out things that I was criticizing you for, and yet all my facts were correct. So, am I wrong?
I'll say this, Gino. I got all the trivia right in the break, and I scored much higher than the other two hosts.
Oh, Jim, I don't think he's calling
maybe
you
down
out
in
now.
Seckman they teach us right because I knew the Articles of Confederation.
Jim knew that one.
Jim knew that one. Cam didn't. But to be fair, Cam was in Canada, so I don't think they know what the Articles of Confederation are.
Listen, boys, I'm just happy that I'm able to actually sling together a couple of sentences. I went through the meat grinder yesterday. We got in at 7 a.m. I was already sick as a dog. And then I had to do this and that and this. And then, of course, with whatever virus I had, when you want to have a runway, I'm overusing runway because I think it's...
You sound like Mo.
Because I think it's sarcastic. I think I'm being...
You're being funny.
With it. Yeah. It doesn't let you sleep more than an hour. So you're up every hour on the hour, never getting the full amount of sleep you need to get past it. What I have is a sickness that is self-sustaining by robbing you of sleep, healthy sleep.
How'd you sleep last night?
You got a sickness, all right?
Terrible.
It's not what you want to hear.
No, but you know what? I'm a gamer. Cards have a big start for Palante, who, by the way, pitched well in his last outing. Not that any of this is like riveting for Cardinal fans. One thing I liked about his last outing is he pitched inside. He plunked a guy. He was getting dirty looks. And you know what? Palante said, I got to pitch inside. I'm going back inside.
Good.
And maybe that's the kind of thing you build off going into tonight's start. I don't know, but we'll find out tonight on FanDuel Sports Midwest.
That's a good tease there.
Damn right it is.
15 games left until the sweet release, till it's finally over. And then they're winners next year. This time next year, they're going to be leading the division.
We have another update from Cam Jansen and the member guest. He duffed the ball.
It finally happened.
Still won the hole.
Wow.
He's not beating the sandbagger allegations.
I wonder what his swing looks like. I think I can envision it pretty well.
Is Charles Barkley in your mind right now?
A short backswing. Maybe the new Charles Barkley before he got it
short
fixed.
Backswing. It's what the Simps do. Right?
The Simps.
I like the Battlehawks. I think that's cool.
Did you text him? I'm going to text him.
No, I'm not trying to be rude. You bully him. Show the bully you really are, Jimmy the Cat Hayes. See, Jim's showing he's a real bully.
Hold on.
Shut up, Grant.
First off, I know what you're trying to do, but it's Cam Jansen. Nobody bullies him. I mean, are you kidding me?
I do.
He was the bully.
I do.
I'm telling him right now.
I call him a girl.
How's the sweat sitch?
Sitch.
Speaking of other things that I think people need to do more often, that I think the Cat might make fun of me for. We were talking about this yesterday, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, about how awesome pedicures are. Are you a fan at all?
No, I'm not. And let me tell you why. I tried it once because my wife asked me to do it. And I said, you know what, E, you've been great to me all these many years. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. And I went in there. It's like you're going to a swimming party. And they, first of all, they can't do some of the things they used to, but they took a cheese grater, literally. It still had hunks of Parmesan in it, and just started attacking my heel. Then they took what looked like a dental implement, started jabbing the cuticle on my big toe. Anyway, when I get through this, and it wasn't fun or relaxing, the lady hands me my socks, and I think she intentionally dropped them in the flesh soup that was in the little basin where my feet were, and then blamed me for dropping my socks in the water. I'm not going back.
I'm in the same boat as you, Jim. Never been. Can't say I ever will.
So you're not in the same boat as Jim, though.
No, I'm in the same boat of anti-pedicures.
He tried it. Why don't you try it? You got to try, dude.
The horror story he sounded like.
Jim's entire situation is anecdotal. I've never heard anyone have that bad of a time at it. All those things happen to me when I get pedicures, but none of them are described in ways that are comparative to like Rwanda. But nonetheless, Jim paints quite the picture.
Dear God,
it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's your.
And then you look around. There's other people, and there's a woman with like 4 boils on her toe, like 2 seats over from you.
Stop judging people, Jim.
I don't want to see that. And it's not relaxing.
Oh,
I
disagree. There's nothing that feels better. Because they do them, they massage. You get a massage as well. You get a foot massage and a leg massage.
So how often are you going to the nail salon?
Once every like 6 to 8 weeks. I'm trying to get a pedicure every 6 to 8 weeks.
I thought you were going to say 6 to 8 months, and I would have thought that's a reasonable amount.
No. I'm trying to go once every 2 months at least.
Wow.
It feels. Note to Dave Green, you're paying Rock too much.
Yeah. Just slash whatever the $50 to $70 you're
I've been
spending
doing it for
on
the
that.
last like 3 years, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire
but
life.
It's to spend that much money on your feet.
It
like
doesn't cost that much. For once every 2 months, it doesn't cost that much, and it feels incredible.
You know how you say Cam is a 16-year-old girl? You're a 50-year-old woman.
Cam also goes and gets pedicures. Let's not forget this.
Does he get mani-pedis?
No, this thing we brought this up yesterday because we were talking about Caleb Williams, and I don't. I've never done the. That's not true. I don't do the manicures or get my nails painted. Although part of me thinks I'm going to start doing the manicures just to because my nails are really messed up and stuff because I get eczema on the tips of my fingers. So I might actually just do the manicure thing to just get that cleaned up and things.
See, but that
that
makes sense.
I don't bite my nails or bite my cuticles anymore if it's all cleaned up and made nice. When I get the pedicures, I don't get any polish on there. I'm just getting, I'm just going for the massage to get everything cleaned up. It feels really good. Sometimes I'll get the clear coat. Sometimes I'll get the clear coat.
You'll get the clear coat?
Sometimes I'll get the clear coat. It looks nice.
Jim, I think you're right with your assessment.
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Don't get nail polish. What's the matter
It's clear
with
coat.
you, boy? What's the matter with you, boy?
Yeah, well, I'm going to the beach. I'm going to be wearing sandals.
When are you going to the beach?
This is a
in a hypothetical world.
This is a hypothetical world where I choose to get the clear coat.
Where you choose to go to the beach.
Oh, that too.
I
just think more men need to try it. It's so relaxing.
Proud of how open you
if,
can be.
Listen, I can't blame Jim. If that was my first experience, dear God Almighty, that sounds horrible. They do kind of cheese grate your heel though, but you need it.
No, they can't anymore because there's new health laws in place. My wife tried to get me to go back, but I'm not kidding you. She handed me my socks back, dropped them into the flesh stew below
that's
me.
really bad.
What is the flesh stew?
So when you're sitting there, your feet you put your feet in water to soak because it's easier for them to clip the nails and grate the dead skin off your heel if it's been soaking in water for a while. And so they drop your socks into it. And then she dropped my socks and she said, "Why you do that?" Like I did it. And then my wife looked at me and just started breaking out laughing. And she knew I wouldn't be going back. And by the way, if you're going to cut my toenails, don't give me the fancy little designer clippers because you're going to break them. All right? I don't know what it is about my toenails, but they're thick. And if you clip it, you're going to take someone's eye out at the Just Lotion store next door. Like they fly. Just based off Jim's reaction when I told him I cry, telling him this, I knew the reaction I'd get, and you didn't disappoint, Jim, and I appreciate that about you.
Have you never cried, Jim?
Jim's not a crier.
Ever?
I've cried.
Rock thought I was crazy when I said I've never cried at a movie or TV show.
I don't cry over movies.
A piece of meat has never made him cry.
If you lose a loved one, you cry. That's okay.
I just got a text from my girlfriend. Should we get petty soon? Yes, absolutely. I feel like Jim Edmonds right now.
Wow. Does Jim Edmonds frequent?
So Rachel is
pro. I told everyone about it.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, let's go get a petty together. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. It's going to feel incredible. Let's do this.
You should have, maybe while you're there, have a couple of Zimas and just giggle.
No, I bring a Coke and then she reads something on her phone and I usually read something on my phone, or I bring a book.
Do you bring a Sports Illustrated magazine to just say, hey, I'm here?
I got a lot of books on my phone, and so I'll read one of my books on my phone.
Okay.
I've seen professional athletes at the place I go to, by the way. Like I'm not going to air out their names.
To be fair, their feet go through a lot more.
I've seen multiple professional athletes get foot massages at this place.
Have you ever seen those basketball players' feet?
Hey,
they need it.
I agree.
Hey, Rock, Taylor Motter doesn't count.
How dare you take a shot at Taylor Motter? If it was,
I love that guy.
If it was Taylor Motter, I would have said it.
What do you think Taylor Motter's doing now?
Getting a pedicure.
Maybe independent ball somewhere.
Do you think he's playing for the Gateway Grizzlies?
No. But I'll tell you this: that guy made a career out of being a professional ball player.
Yeah.
Probably made some decent coin along the way because he was in the bigs a while. I'd say tip of the cap. When I say Taylor Motter, I say in a loving fashion, because anyone that can make it to the bigs and have a sustained career where it's not just one call up and then you're gone, tip of the cap. You did something that no one else in the general population can do outside literally 0.000%.
Yeah.
So I respect that.
He spent the fall, the back half of the summer and the fall with Leones de Yucatan in the Mexican League. He was released on January 8th, 2025. In 40 appearances, he slashed 303, 352 with a 566 with 11 home runs, 31 RBI, and 2 stolen bases.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Still doing it.
Leones de Yucatan, obviously, they play, on the Yucatan Peninsula in Merida.
Probably in a
Looks
beautiful
like
place.
A beautiful city that is right on the water. Not a bad way to spend 8 months.
Can I make a confession here?
Of course, this is a place for confessions. I just talked about my feet
because I'm
And your
medicated.
nail polish.
But remember when the Cardinals played in Mexico, and I forget what the local pro team was. Do you remember that? It was years ago. Years ago. Probably you guys weren't born yet. But they played in Mexico, and the local pro team was very popular. And when I was doing like the fan stuff, I had to pretend like they were excited to see the Cardinals. They weren't. They didn't care about the Cardinals. They cared about their own team, which to me was fascinating. No, it was good. We had to, look at them. They're excited to see the Cardinals. They weren't, but I love that. They care about their own team. So that you have fan bases in Mexico for the local team that are crazy popular. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of those, think about in the winter ball with those Dominican teams. I know obviously there's some MLB players, but there's so many fans. Whenever I see highlights of the Dominican League in the winter, that those stadiums are packed.
I'm not finding anything on Google, but Google search sucks now, so I'm not surprised by not finding anything. So if you had a year or anything to give us a little more context, Jimmy, that'd be fascinating because I've never heard of this, and I really want to learn what you're talking about.
That the Cardinals played in Mexico?
Oh, I thought you were talking about you said they played against a local team.
No, I said
no. They played the Reds down there.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. They played in a stadium.
Played a local.
They played
team.
in a stadium.
What?
No, they played in a stadium where the local team played.
What
and
year
we
was
had
this?
to pretend like the fans there were going to turn out in bunches to see the Cardinals because they were excited, and they really weren't.
2019.
Marcelo Ozuna hit 2 home runs, and Matt Carpenter connected on a tie-breaking drive in the 7th inning that sent the St. Louis Cardinals over the Cincinnati Reds 9-5 for a split of the two-game series.
And who was the reliever that gave up a home run in that game?
I'm going to go to the box score, and I'm going to find the reliever to be named DeSclafani.
He started.
Oh, sorry.
They were in Monterey, by the way.
I was just going by the order that the pitchers were listed. Amir Garrett?
No.
No,
the Cardinal reliever.
Oh. The Cardinal reliever who gave up a home run was... In that game, it was Gallegos.
That's what. So...
And he's from Mexico.
Gallegos, who's from Mexico, and I think it was his major league debut, if I'm not mistaken. And he was like the local kid pitching for the big league team, and he gave up one of the longest home runs I've ever seen. And he turned out to be very Cardinals, by the way, for a pretty good stretch.
Yeah.
So he made his debut in 2017.
Okay, my bad. But he was out of nowhere, suddenly pitching where he was born, and gave up a long one.
Yeah, before 2019, he had pitched in 26 games across the Yankees and the Cardinals. He pitched in 2 Cardinals games in 2018, and then 2019 rolls around and he pitches in 66 games for the Cardinals.
Who did he give up the homer to? Can you find that?
Oh, I skipped through let me get back to the box score. Damn it, Jim.
Well, talk into the mic.
You rat. Sorry, I already. God bless America. It was Yasiel Puig.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember going to game. It was Yasiel Puig's first game in St. Louis. I was pretty young, and I thought he was Babe Ruth.
Well, he was in the beginning.
I know. He was awesome.
When he first came up.
At one point, I think my 2 favorite athletes in the world were Johnny Manziel and Yasiel Puig. Very, 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 very good role models for me to grow up with.
Thank God you avoided the marching powder.
It's a miracle.
By the way, I know if we mentioned, but I have a podcast with Lance Lynn, Matt Holliday, sometimes Kyle Gibson, but not often, called Serving It Up.
Oh, okay.
Serving It Up. And I forget we were talking about guys that you would, like even Lance Lynn would be concerned about, bum rushing the mound or something. And he said Puig was the kind of guy that when he was on the field, you always kind of wanted to know where he was. You always had to kind of keep an eye on him.
He was awesome.
Do you guys have any more questions about this game, or can I X out of it without having to worry?
You can X out of it.
I think you can X out.
I had to go back to that page 4 times in the last 5 minutes. Definitely wasn't annoying. Please, guys, jump into the chat here on the YouTube. You can see what everyone's saying. You can bash us, and we have to read it because it's right there and everyone sees it, and they'll call us cowards if we don't read it because that's the kind of fan base we have here at Hot Take Central 2.0. We're going to head to break. If you want to join the show again, you can join in on the YouTube chat. You can text us 314-590-3770 or call in at 855-282-8255. Easiest way to listen is, of course, the Lou Info app, which is out right now on your Android and your Apple phones. Either or, download the app right now. Watch us on YouTube. We'll be back on the other side. This is Hot Take Central 2.0.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Grandpa Pigeons, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Hey, see that, kids? That's a St. Louis Arch.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
This hour of content on the Lou Information Station is brought to you by Grandpa Pigeons, Johnny Mac's Sporting Goods, and Becky's Carpet and Tile Superstore.
Hey, see that, kids? That's a St. Louis Arch, the gateway to the west.
The Lou Information Station, where we'll always call it Highway 40 or Highway 40 if you're a boomer.
The St. Louis expression?
Stream our content 24/7 at louinfo.com. The Lou Information Station. LouInfo.com news headlines brought to you by Brown and Crouppen. Get.com.
This is your LouInfo.com news update. A teacher was injured during an incident involving a student Thursday morning at Northview High School in St. Louis County. The teacher was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and the student is in custody. The school and 2 others briefly went into lockdown as a precaution. Police are still investigating what led to that incident. St. Louis police have arrested 25-year-old Kenneth Dotson in connection with a fatal drive-by shooting last month. The victim, 24-year-old Darian Reed, was shot near South Kings Highway in Connecticut after leaving a gas station on August 23rd. He died days later from a neck wound. Surveillance footage led to Dotson's arrest on Thursday. One person was killed early Thursday morning after being hit by a vehicle on westbound I-64 in West St. Louis County. Crash happened around 6 a.m. near Timberlake Manor Parkway. All westbound lanes were shut down for several hours during the investigation. The cause of the incident is still under investigation. For the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com. Austin.
Now, LouInfo.com weather. Presented by STL Sports Central. St. Louis sports. Anytime, anywhere.
Here's your LouInfo.com weather update. We're back into a summertime pattern through the upcoming weekend, and it looks like into next week, very low rain chances. Sunny today, and we're headed for the mid-90s. Looks like low 70s and a few clouds for the overnight hours. Another hot one on Saturday, mid to upper 90s and sunny. A few clouds on Saturday night, a slight chance of a thunderstorm, and 90s on Sunday. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton for the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
Lunchtime just got a whole lot better at Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. From mouth-watering wraps to loaded quesadillas to bold, flavor-packed sandwiches, Hot Shots has something fresh every single day, along with your favorite wings, burgers, and pizza that you know and love. And don't sleep on those Hot Shots tacos. Plus, if you gotta be in and out quick for lunch, Hot Shots has you covered every day starting at 11 a.m. Find your nearest Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill now at hotshotnet.com. That's hotshotsnet.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely on advertisements.
Not sure how to get a lawyer after an accident? Call Brown and Crouppen. We'll walk you through it. Worried it'll cost too much? Here's a fact. At Brown and Crouppen, you pay nothing up front, and we never get paid unless you do. When you're our client, you'll have all your questions answered, all for free. Hurt? Get the facts and help you need. Call Brown and Crouppen now.
This is Mizzou wide receiver Kevin Coleman Jr.
And I'm Mizzou linebacker Josiah Trotter.
When we hit the field, we have each other's back.
And off the field, we got James Carlton, State Farm covering us.
Thanks, fellas. Nothing beats college football season and nothing beats saving money. Just by getting a quote from our office and mentioning Mizzou, we'll make a donation to support Mizzou's will to win push on your behalf. No strings attached.
So you're supporting the team just by checking your rates. Doesn't get any easier than that.
It's so easy. Check them out online at MIZZOU.
Buddy.
What do you say, buddy?
Man, life comes at you fast. 1 minute you're cruising home, the next flashing lights in your rear view.
And that's when you need backup. With the Legal Buddy app, you can connect to a local attorney in seconds.
Seconds? Not waiting days for a callback?
Nope, right away. DWI, car accident, criminal charge, traffic ticket, Legal Buddy's got your back.
So it's like having a lawyer in your pocket.
Exactly. Someone ready to step in the moment you need them, no matter the situation.
That's peace of mind.
That's Legal Buddy.
We're always going to be buddies, right?
All right, where do I get this?
Just download the Legal Buddy app at LegalBuddyApp.com. Register and use code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Nice. Tickets, accidents, legal trouble, you're covered.
The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download it today. Enter code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card.
Buddy, you don't get much better than this.
Yep.
Back to more of Hot Take Central 2.0 with Cam Jansen and Jimmy the Cat Hayes on the Lou Information Station, streaming 24/7 at louinfo.com.
And we're back at Hot Take Central 2.0 on the Lou Information Station. Don't forget to download the Lou Info app, App Store, Google Play, wherever you get your apps. Grant Salsman, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, and Ryan Swingler has jumped in to replace Matthew Rocchio. I'm running point, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at the 2, super sub.
And you're our veteran leader, Jim.
Yeah, Udonis Haslam.
Oh.
Yeah, I got nothing because I'm sick and I'm lack of sleep is kicking in. But when is the hand or the switch out stopping? Because I always think that's weird.
The switch off, I think there's rumors, and this is just from the rumor mill. You know, I'm like the Ken Rosenthal right now. My sources are telling me that the Randy Carricker show might be pushed back a little bit, an hour or so, and then there's no switch off anymore. That's just what the rumor mill's telling me, Jim.
All right.
Now, Jim, am I mistaken? Are you an Eagles fan?
No, I'm not.
I've
covered the Eagles.
Okay.
No.
Who are you a fan of?
I am not a fan of any NFL team, though I do watch. I used to be a fan of the Miami Dolphins. Here's why. When I was young, they had a perfect season.
Yes.
Also, one of the hardest runners in NFL history, Larry Zonka.
Love that guy. Fullback.
When he was a Giant, lived near me, and I would see him jogging. But anyway, over the years, because I was a Dolphin fan when they were great, and because Zonka was near me, I love the nostalgia of it. I was a Dolphin fan. Now they're a mess. My kid is a Chiefs fan, but I don't really have a rooting interest. I'll root for the Chiefs so my kid isn't pissed off.
I agree with that. That's kind of what I became a big Steelers fan. What my family started to do as well, especially once the Rams left. Now, were kids around you, like people that grew up, were they Giants fans or Jets fans?
Giants.
Okay.
So in New York, it's weird. If you're a Giants fan, then you tend to be Giants and Rangers and Yankees. And because you would be, back then it was Knicks Nets, I guess. So yeah, you'd be Knicks. You'd be like, there's like the old school and the new school, like the people that like the Mets, like the Jets, and the Nets and the Islanders. Even though I did live on Long Island, was an Islander fan. I was never a Ranger fan.
Okay, so is your like biggest fan base still outside of St. Louis teams the New York Knicks?
Yeah, that's the one. I can't shake it. I can't shake it. I don't know why.
It's like a disease.
But I still like the Knicks. Yeah, and my kid likes the Knicks, so we watch Knicks games together, and that helps too.
That's good.
How you feel about the Knicks this year, Jim? How you feel? Are they coming?
I'm not really sure. that they've done enough. Like, hey, they did sign, God, and it's off season. They did make that free agent sign to give more scoring off the bench, which is something they definitely need. And they did get a 6'4" power forward from the 76ers, who I'm not that impressed with. I just think Robinson's got to stay healthy, and you got to get some help for Brunson. You got to make yourself a little bit harder to defend outside of just triple teaming Brunson. That's how I feel.
Now I'm going to throw you for another loop. Missouri Tigers, Louisiana Lafayette. Is this a trap game, Jim, or are they going to be okay?
Not.
Yeah.
No, it is not. You know, I've become a Mizzou fan.
Oh,
First of all, I like Mizzou. I do like Mizzou basketball. I like Gates.
Mhm.
I like Mizzou football. I don't look at this game as a trap. I also was watching, since I'm not a true son and I'm an outsider, but I saw people ripping Missouri fans for being happy about beating a rival. Like, no one said Kansas was a top 10 team. They thought Kansas was a team with a dangerous quarterback and a pretty good squad, and they got a win after getting dominated early, mostly from a scoop and score and a short field touchdown. I give Missouri all the credit in the world and Drake all the credit in the world. And I'm looking forward to watching them this season.
There were some media members in the area hating a little bit on the Tigers, but it leads me to believe there's not quite the understanding of the rivalry, especially 14 years of it pent up. You don't want to lose that first game in 14 years. That's going to set you back a little bit.
Yeah, and I can understand. Like, I'm not from here, though I've been doing the same job for 25 years. Like, I understand the rivalry and what it's all about. And I remember when Todd Reesing had the sod chunked into.
Oh, yeah. How could you forget that? Well, that's a perfect transition to lead me to plug my show, Jim. You plug yours, I'll plug mine.
You have a show?
Coming up next in about 10 minutes, Brendan Schaefer and I will talk all things Mizzou. I got a show. It's not as I don't have Matt Holliday and Lance Lynn and sometimes Kyle Gibson, but I have Brendan Schaefer. So if you like Mizzou,
Big Schaefer's solid. I
He's
give
solid.
that guy grief because it's fun too. Because he used to be a guy that was in the drama club and did plays and stuff, which is fun. But I always say one day we'll all be working for Brendan Schaefer.
so we got to get in his good side now.
Yes.
Well, that's all the time we have here today on Hot Take Central. Jim, let's hope the Cardinals give you something entertaining to watch this weekend. Will you be back Monday?
Yes, I'll be back.
Back in studio, Jim Hayes. We'll have Cam Jansen back Monday as well after his big member guest golf tournament today. Ryan Swingler jumped in. Matt Rocchio was here. I'm Grant Salsman. That's all we have now. Stay tuned for me talking about Mizzou in about 5 to 10 minutes with Brendan Schaefer on the Lou Information Station.
All aboard! There's a new way to travel, and it's one of the oldest forms of transportation.